Good day, everyone. This is a warm and humid day in Singapore and really enjoying visiting all the good friends and also enjoying all the good food. And I'm pretty excited because I've been traveling to different places. The colony was fantastic and all the other places like the lobster buffets here. So there is one iconic place that I have not been able to visit yet, but I'm hoping to rectify that, and I'm hoping to rectify that together. This is Marina Bay Sands, and I'm pretty excited because they actually have a buffet, and unfortunately, it's not at the top, but at the bottom floor. So no matter where it is, top or on the ground level, it should still be a great meal. So I'm really grateful for that. And I'm also really grateful to Vessi for sponsoring this video. Vessi is a West Coast company that makes amazing waterproof, breathable sneakers that keeps you warm and dry when it's cold and wet outside, or keeps you cool and dry when it is hot and humid outside, like it is here in Singapore. And really grateful for that because it also rains a lot. And while I love to show you just how waterproof they are, I don't want to be spilling any water on the Vessis on the street or dipping the Vessis in any body of water because of all the fines. I'm really grateful to Lawrence for reminding me to put my trays away at the hawker center, otherwise $200 fine. But on a recent trip to Narbonne, France, to the world's best buffet, Le Grand Buffet, it was humid there too, and really grateful for the Vessis. And using a bottle of water, the Vessis were submerged, fully drenched. And I was completely dry, so no more wet socks there. So give them a try. Visit Vessi online, and there you'll find many styles and colors to choose from. What I'm wearing today are the Soho sneakers. Very light, quite stylish, and very comfortable. And my favorite are the weekend sneakers as well. There's so many selections and styles. There's something for everyone. The overcast jacket keeps you nice and warm and dry. And this is the Shoreline belt bag. Very useful, especially for travels, keeping your valuables safe and dry as well. So keep checking their site for new and exciting products and new styles. And they ship to many countries. And if you happen to miss one of their sales, Vessi was kind enough to offer a promotion. Just visit Vessi online and use code TIMLEE to save 15% off your next purchase. That again is Vessi online, and the code is TIMLEE to save 15% off your purchase. And I believe that works in the retail store as well. So just a beautiful view of the Marina Bay Sands from the bottom. Looking really gorgeous, and I think with that, I'm getting hungry, and I hope you're getting hungry too. Come on, let's have a great buffet together. So it is humid outside and so nice to be inside. And actually, right here, we can see the hard-working folks at the buffet getting all ready. So that is looking pretty amazing. Let's go pay them a visit. Hi there. Thank you. Thank you. So you have to walk outside to get down to the lobby, and even that 2-minute walk, I am sweating. It's not warm, it's just very humid, but the Marina Bay Sands look absolutely amazing. And I am a bit early, and I think the buffet is already starting. Let's go check it out. So this is looking pretty nice because this is the winner of the best buffet. So I can't wait to give it a try. Oh, hey Ferrari. Hi. Oh, this looks lovely. Are you just getting started?
Yes, we do. So we're starting now at 5 p.m.
Okay.
Yes, and I can send you to your table now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. And I can see the lobster already. That's looking pretty good.
Yes, it will be in here.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. So really nice for Ferrari to get me this wonderful table, and she was fast. And pun intended, apologies for that. But beautiful table here and lots of utensils because of all the amazing seafood. But let me show you this. This is the amazing tower of the Marina Bay Sands, and I was surprised that they would put the buffet at the bottom. But looking at this view, I can see why they put it down here. Really amazing. And I can see the buffet is already started. And this is a weekday, so it's not too busy, but I'm also surprised at the selection with the lobster. But before we get started, I think we can go for a drink. And since we're in Singapore, maybe a Singapore sling. And I see it coming right now. Wonderful. Oh, thank you so much, Arlene. This is wonderful.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee.
Yeah.
I hope you will enjoy your dinner tonight.
All right, will do. Thank you. Thank you. So just in the nick of time, a wonderful cool drink. And I just cannot. This is my first Singapore sling, and I can't wait to give it a try. Cheers to you from Singapore. Mm. Oh, that's very nice. A little bit of gin, some Cointreau, and cherries and pineapple. Very refreshing. More importantly, it is perfectly cold, and a cold drink is definitely needed in Singapore. Mm. So with that, I think we can check out the buffet. Come on, let's have a good meal together. Just gotta get out of here. All right, so I did some reconnaissance and it looks absolutely amazing. Beautiful stations and beautiful roasts and the lobsters. Let's grab a plate first. All right, so right off the bat, we have a chilled seafood station with sushi. And this isn't the only station, there are so many. On the left, there is a beautiful roast station with all the nice pork and beef and lamb. And in front of our way is a bread station, but that's okay because behind is kind of the traditional food with the Hanan Chicken. But I think I am gonna go for the seafood first and love to see people doing the same thing. We will start right over here, passing the sauces. Look at this. Off to such an amazing start. A tower of lobster and a foundation of scallops. Let's go for a little scallop here, right on the plate. Maybe number two. And of course, the lobsters. These are quite sizable and red. Lobster number one and its better half. And again, these are quite ginormous and it's filling up the plate already. What a wonderful problem to have. And let's see, moving on. All right, some shrimp, some mussels, and then further down, some more shrimp and clams. Oh, and as much as I'd love to go for them, I'm gonna skip them for some beautiful crab here on the top and on the bottom. And this is a tough decision because crab takes a bit of work, but let's give it a try. Okay, that is a big one. Let's go for a little one. And actually they're all big, so that's okay. And maybe right here. It hasn't really been a minute and the plate is already full. And oh, more lobsters here and giant lobster at the top. And if you like claws, they've got the claws at the bottom. Kind of reminds me of the lobster tower at Le Grand Buffet, only a little bit smaller, but that's okay. Oh, look at the sushi. Okay, very pretty. There is a California roll, which I'm gonna skip. And again, I am doing the tamago test out how good the sushi restaurant is. Some vegetarian sushi, but not vegetarian is a seared scallop sushi. Let's go for one of these. Right over here. And these are scallop sushi, but they do look like clams and there's only one way to find out. The proof of the pudding is in the eating thereof, as they say. A little bit of prawn sushi. A little bit of tofu, and of course, a wonderful eel sushi, all pao thai. Right here. All right, and I see a wonderful sashimi station. Hi, can I try some of the assorted sashimi? Thank you. Thank you so much. Appetizers are certainly getting full, and oh, a little bit of noodles. Some cold soba, the little sauce, and the dressings. But I think we need a little bit of salad. And if I looked a little bit tired at the beginning, that's because the humidity was getting to me. But all this food is certainly waking me up. And look at this. This burrata is looking so scrumptious. This is a mozzarella cheese dumpling. And leave it to the Italians. A dumpling made of a cheese wrapper filled with cheese. A little bit of rocket to cut the richness as a foundation. And then, oh, the burrata. Okay, that. There we go. Mozzarella and the cream filling with a bit of pesto to liven things up. And look at this. I've never had this before. A smoked burrata. And I suspect we don't take the whole thing. Let's take a little bit here. Oh gosh. Cuts beautifully. a little bit more firm than the traditional burrata. Let's give this a try. Right over here, and a wonderful filling as well. A little bit of the sun-dried tomatoes, along with some marinated tomatoes, nice and fresh. And moving on, oh, look at this. This is a beautiful charcuterie, and I think I should not have made fun of the bread station because I think I need its assistance. Maybe a thin crisp. All right, back to the station here. So, a little bit of salmon right over here. Maybe a little bit more. A little bit of onions, a little bit of egg in the form of yolk, more egg whites, and the giant capers all over the place. And this is such a nice start to the buffet. So that's actually quite a bit of work, even for the first round. And I think I really went overboard. But this is quite nice because they are quite attentive with the finger bowls or the seafood. And for the sushi and all this good stuff, they've got the sauces and a big bowl of melted butter from Chloe. And I think I'll have no problem finishing that. But let's give the burrata a try first. That is looking wonderful. And it's nice to find fresh burrata at a buffet. So a little bit of pesto, a little bit of rocket, and a little bit of that juicy ripe tomato. Get that on there. That is a big bite and a really delicious one at that. The burrata is nice and fresh and creamy, a little bit of punch with the rocket at the bottom, nice and peppery, and a juicy tomato with a bit of pesto. Perfect bite and a big one. Very nice. Maybe a little bit of the sushi. And I think to start things off, we will use the tamago test. A little bit of soy. Let's give it a try. Again, not the good judge of tamago, but nice and delicate, not rubbery, delicately sweet, and a nice foundation of firm, full body rice. I think it passed the test, and I think we will continue on with the seared tuna in the form of salmon. This is salmon aburi. A little bit of soy. Oh, beautifully silky, firm, a little bit of torch goodness. Very nice. Gotta move on to the seafood plate. And I think I'm gonna start off with the scallops first. This is a bit of work, so maybe a little bit of that wonderful Vietnamese sauce here on the scallop. Perfect. Nice and chilled and fresh. And again, in Asia, they always keep the roe on the scallop. So not only do you get that wonderful meat, you get that roe as well. Oh. Fighting with the roe, a little bit of shell. But I think we need to dig into the lobster next. Thank goodness they have the finger bowl as well, because I am a bit messy. Let's dig in. Oh, and I didn't realize they gave me gloves as well. I think they know who they're dealing with. I think we'll take the tail out. Oh, and it is wonderfully poached, so it comes out so easily. Cut it up. Oh, into the butter. And they are generous with the butter, and so am I. This might get messy. And it does get very delicious. The lobster is perfectly poached, and near the head, you have that wonderful roe and a little bit of scraggly surface to capture all that butter, and it is drenched. Mm. As good as those sauces are, nothing beats some warm melted butter. So I think I'm gonna finish this off. And I think there's a little bit of a fly around who's joining me as well. So I'm gonna finish this off while I fight away the fly. And it's gonna be like a competition to see who can eat which first. And I'll take you back. I hope the fly didn't get into the Singapore sling. Or maybe it will and it'll fly a little bit crooked. Cheers. The last of the first round. Very good. And that was actually quite a lot. But the standout is the burrata. As good as the regular burrata was, that smoked burrata was even better. And pairing it up with a little bit of rocket, a little bit of tomato, this makes a perfect bite. The burrata stands strong. And having a little bit of sashimi is always nice. This is the salmon, nice and fresh. And the salmon has inspired me to make a smear, a little bit of the crispy bread, a little bit of the cream cheese, and the wonderful smoked salmon with all the fixings, a caper here and a caper there, a perfect light crunch. And what would make the schmear even better? Lobster. A little bit of the leftover lobster, which is an oxymoron, and it was delicious. And of course, the crab, it is relatively quite a bit of work when you're at a buffet, but that's okay. We are done and dusted with round one. Let's go for round two. And I think we shall head over to the hot food station. Oh, and I didn't realize they have a drink station right next to it. So you're definitely gonna come back here for a little bit, especially for the lychee and the lychee popping boba. I think this is a soda station, but it might even be a bubble tea station. If it is, it would be fantastic. But let's start off here. See, let's start from the end. And this is interesting. Some fish skin. I think I'm gonna give one of these a try. Never had crispy fish skin, so it'll be fun. Some deliciously looking pork, some seafood, shrimp and mussels. And what is this? I think that is the chicken in red curry. And obviously you need the rice next to it, but I think I'm gonna pass on that. And let's see what else is next. This is some pork, turmeric pork, some veggies with shrimp. And I could not say no to the basil pork. Beautiful flavors of Thai.
How are you today?
And I actually got some rice to go along with it. A little bit more. Some beautiful prawns and some ginger beef. And now we are talking. Look at these beautiful roasts. Hi, Chef Frederick. How are you?
Hello.
Oh,
Wonderful Spanish iberico pork.
this is iberico pork.
Yes, sir.
Wow.
Very juicy. We have a lamb leg from New Zealand.
I saw you cutting up that pork and it looks so juicy. May I have some?
Yes, of course, sir.
Oh.
How many slices can it be for you? Sir?
Oh, okay, maybe two.
Two.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
And that's perfectly pink. Oh, maybe a little bit of prime rib. If you have the fatty cut, that would be great.
Of course, sir. We have a beautiful second crunch.
Oh, and this is the cap. Thank you. Oh, that's enough. Thank you, chef.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. A little bit of Malden salt on the pork and a little bit of beef jus right over the prime rib. And Chef Frederick was nice enough to do the cap. All right, so I better hurry up because I should get back for the roast. But look at this, some pasta, which I will skip for now. And look at this risotto. Hi, Chef. Hi. It's a beautiful cheese and wonderful to say.
Also get some cheese.
Oh, will do. Thank you. All right, so I cannot resist.
Enjoy your dinner, sir.
Oh, will do, chef. And mixing it next to the steamed rice is the risotto. Okay, I definitely need to hurry back, but look at this. A little bit of sea bass. I think there is room for one more before things get too cold. And instead of the roasted sea bass, we will go with the saucy sea bass with a little bit of the caviar. That is looking very scrumptious. Let's go for one. And there's just one more spot left with a little bit more sauce. And I think that is a quick round two. All right, so I do need to rush back because that meat is looking so delicious. The wonderful prime rib, nice and fatty, and the iberico pork, cooked nice and pink, and a little bit of sea bass. And I think I'm gonna start off with the fish skin with the fish sauce from the sea bass. Give that a try. Mm. Wonderful, crispy, and even better with more sauce. Mm. We need to dig into the pork. So moving the fish to the side. Oh my goodness. This cuts so effortlessly, and the wonderful fat as well. I think maybe a little bit of beef and pork and fish tried together. When you come here, go for the pork. It literally is melting in the mouth. That luscious iberico pork, nice and fatty, cooked wonderfully well, just to its doneness. So tender, so good. I think we gotta try the prime rib next. So moving the pork to the side. Oh, and Chef Frederick was nice enough to provide the rib cap, a little bit of sauce. It's not a lot of prime rib, and it's just the right amount because this is the antithesis of quality over quantity. And look at that wonderful beef. Oh. So much marbling. The fat and tendons have rendered into a gelatinous goodness of meat and collagen and a little bit of the risotto. Maybe not, but that's okay. We can try the risotto on its own. Let's give it a try. Wonderful mushrooms and cheese. Very subtle, not overly seasoned, just delicate so that the mushroom comes through. And let's try the sea bass. Okay, and this is just flaking wonderfully. A little bit of the caviar, and I can see this is nice and tender and just cooked so that the translucent blush has just disappeared, but still so flaky and melts in the mouth. A very well cooked piece of fish, especially at a buffet. Mm. So, I think I'm just gonna finish this up before the cold sets in. And you might notice I got some extra items here. A bit of the cauliflower gratin and a tomato soup, and threw in a lobster shell or a lobster claw in there with some cheese. So time is of the essence, and I will swiftly devour round two after a sip of the Singapore Sling. Cheers. So the buffet is certainly getting busy, especially on a Monday. And I think we'll continue on with the hot food station, but that steak was so good, and a little bit of comfort food, a little bit of the cauliflower gratin and the tomato soup makes it even better. And finally, I was able to combine the rib cap with the risotto for that perfect bite. And I think we are now ready to move on from the wonderful pastas to, oh, look at this. This is duck confit. And while I would love to try, I think I'm actually filling up. That rib cap, even though it was small, was so delicious. Oh, look at this. I cannot say no to the lamb shank with the wonderful bone. Let's see. Oh, I'm trying to find a small one, but no luck. How about this one here? This is the smallest as they come. No, 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 that one's too big. And I know it is not proper etiquette to go digging through a buffet, so my apologies in advance. I think I'll just stick with this one. right here with the wonderful curry and gravy. So some fish and chicken and butter chicken. But to top off that wonderful lamb shank, a little bit of prawn biryani, maybe a little bit more with some cucumber raita. And let's see what else we have. This looks like the Asian section. And to begin with, we have a matrix of dim sum. Oh, some shao mai. Oh, these are the lotus leaf sticky rice. Okay, and let's see this one right on the edge. Oh, more. Oh, and the shrimp dumpling. But I think we shall go for this massive fish. Not really sure what type of fish this is, but looking very tender. All right, I think we'll remove the bone here. I watch Frederic do this in France, and I think I got the hang of it. Okay, that's a little too big. That's still a little too big, but manageable. Right over here. All right, and moving on, this is the iconic Singapore chili crab with the deep fried buns, but I think I'm all crab and lobstered out, as good as it is. But oh, a little bit of Chinese items here, and I think I gotta go for a little bit of the noodles. Okay, they do look very nice. Got some veggies, let's see, some beef. And this is interesting. This is chicken money bag. Let's go for one or two. And then salt and pepper chicken and some pork ribs. Oh, and a laksa station boiling away. But I'm trying to decide between the laksa or that wonderful chicken over there, all the way at the back. And I think we can make our decision. Very crispy fried chicken wings, a little bit of curry. Oh, and this is looking so good. This is a beef rangdang, and it's not just any beef. This is wagyu beef chic, the wonderful, tender or flavorful part of the beef. Let's go. Actually, I'm going to hold off because we will go for some wonderful pandan and blue pea flour rice. There we go. And finally, a little bit of that beef, wagyu beef rangdang. Wonderful colors. And as we do this, I can see chef making the laksa. So that's looking really good. And I think I have the heart set on the chicken. Hi, Chef Kelvin. The laksa looks great, but I'm wondering if I can get a little bit of the Hanan chicken. And dark meat if you have it? All right, thank you. Oh, thank you, Chef. All right, so the chicken looks really good. And next, some chicken rice. And hopefully this is cooked in chicken oil, but what would Uncle Roger say? Non-stick pan and a metal spoon. Right over here. And I think this is it for round 3. That might have been a mistake. I think I got too much rice for this round because of all the saucy goodness from the biryani to the jasmine to the chicken rice and the blue pea flour rice. This might be a lot, and I'm so glad they have a drink station there. I had to help myself with a little bit of the lychee popping boba and the rose tea. So let's give it a try. Lots of boba. Let's see how it tastes. The popping lychee boba, they are popping. It's kind of nice. It's like a little sphere. When you bite into it, it bursts and you get, I guess, a burst of lychee flavor. So I think let's give that wonderful fish a try. I believe this one is kind of time sensitive. So let's see this here. A little bit of rice. Mm. So soft and succulent and gingery, and a little bit of that skin, nice and gelatinous and savory soy sauce. Mm. Very good. I'm gonna try the noodles next. Chow kway teow, a little bit of fish cake. Mm. Not bad. I've had better, especially in the hawker stalls over there. But this isn't too bad. Let's try the money purse. And this is a money purse made of chicken. Mm. It's quite nice. Something nice and crispy with a delicious chicken inside. Mm. Just need a little bit more of the drink. Very good. Finally, got to do a little bit of switcheroo. I want to try that lamb shank and the biryani. And I think this is a knife and fork type of shank. This is feeling a little bit hard, but it could be that I took my time. Oh, let's give that a try. Mm. It's pretty good, but I think this could do with a little bit more time. Could be just a tad tender, but we'll pair that up with the biryani and some more gravy. Mm. And still very good. And I'm curious as to know if there is marrow inside. And I think we'll just switch it around. And the chicken rice is looking very good. And I've amassed quite a few sauces here. This is for the seafood, this is for the schmear, and this is for the chicken rice. So maybe a little bit of the ginger, some hot sauce, too much, and a little bit of this molasses type soy sauce. This is catsup mantis, I believe, with a little bit of rice. Scoop it in for that perfect bite. Mm. Rice is nice and flavorful, but that chicken is nice and soft, and it's really nice to get a little bit of dark meat and a little bit of the soy, ginger, and hot sauce. Mm. Very nice. And I think it's time to try the wagyu cheek beef rangdang. And okay. And this is fork tender, just melting apart. And actually, I can just use a spoon. A little bit of the blue pea flour. Oh, and that wonderful beef rangdang. Mm. I got the wonderful fatty piece, but beef cheek is nice and fatty in general, so lots of flavor there. The beef just pulls apart, and that rice is nice and floral. Very nice. Mm. They do a very good job with their beef. Not only the beef rangdang, but that wonderful beef prime rib. So I'm gonna finish this off. That was a big mistake to get all this rice, but I think I can do it and have some time or some room for dessert. And of course, room for this wonderful lychee popping boba. Cheers to you. Mm. Yeah. So the windows are all dark and night has fallen, and it's kind of nice to see Chef Nini still working away, getting the sushi station all nice and fresh with a burry and all that good stuff. And now it is time for dessert. And look at these decadent treats. So the biggest mistake in that round was too much rice, but I think there is still some room for these gorgeous desserts. This display is tiramisu. I think this is yuzu milk chocolate. And this wonderful jelly, a strawberry trifle with gold. And this is a panna cotta matcha style, little bit of chocolate mousse, mango pudding, and a raspberry mousse. Maybe we'll go for one of these for the trifecta. Lots more cakes and mini tarts and a mini cake. This is something called Cocoa Exotic. Let's give that a try delicately. A little hard to pick up. Oh. And that resulted in a little bit of a mishap, but that's okay. When you're at a buffet, there's always a retry, and let's retry this together. Okay, we've got the bottom off. Okay, and right here, next to the failed one and second attempt, a success. So maybe some cherry tart here, much easier. Success on one go. Okay, and maybe a wonderful slice of cake. So we've got a wonderful green tea mousse cake. And then I think this is a crepe cake. Just gonna swirl it around and just see. Many layers pecan tart. And this is a lychee rose cake. And as much as I want to try the matcha mousse cake, I think that is just too big. Let's go for the lychee rose because we can cut off just a small portion right over here. Although, I think I can just cut off a small piece just in case someone is just as full. They can have the other one. There we go. Oh, look at this. A beautiful roll cake with lots of filling. I think there is room on the plate for one more.
Ice cream or something.
Right here, and I am regretting this because it looks quite large. Oh no, and there is more. This is something called cheng ting. Let's find out what it is. I think this is an Asian dessert. Those are sweet dates, and I think it is a porridge of some sort. And look at this, the traditional kueh. So let's try, I think maybe the purple one. And the red and green, a festive one. The plate is getting as full as I am, but we have, I think this is an orange chiffon, and this looks quite massive. So definitely giving that a skip, but I think these little mandarin orange things are Japanese mochi. Let's go for one here. Right side up. All right, some wonderful chocolates here. I can't resist. If left to my own, I would take them all, but people are watching, and let's just go for one with the almond praline next to the mochi, and maybe another one, the Earl Grey praline, and maybe just one more. I really overdid it with the dessert, and it's always nice to come back to your table with something more. And I think this is a cold dessert, a little bit of shaved ice. And next to the cold dessert is a hot coffee or hot cappuccino. And I'm not sure if you can make that out, but this is in the shape of the Marina Bay Sands. And this is where Vin Diesel jumped from one building to the next, and from the next to the final building. And I think that was where the Fast and the Furious had that long runway. So I think you gotta give the little icy dessert a try. So I'm not sure what this is called, but I think I had this. This is water chestnut, I believe, but one way to be sure. It is not water chestnut like I thought we had in Thailand, but a very nice pandan coconut flavor. A little bit of chew, very refreshing. Mm. And nicely chilled. So I think I'm gonna dig into the dessert, but which one to try first? I think I'm gonna give the one that was hardest to pick up a try. This is the failed one because it fell upside down, but let's give it a try. Oh, as ugly as it looks, and that is user error. It is delicious because inside it fails again, because inside there is a rich, luscious mousse that's light as well, and a very delicate sponge on the outside. Mm. And the nice one will be for you, and I am going to try this roll cake. Oh, look at that filling. Oh. 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 That is durian, sneakily disguised as a dessert. The mousse was really light and luscious, and it covered the taste of the durian for a little bit, and then it creeps up on you, and it is strong and pulpy. And I remember in our hotel, the fine for smoking is about $250. The fine for having durian in your room, $300, and hats off to them. No complaints. So to get rid of that bad memory, I think a little bit of this strawberry dessert would be kind of nice. A little bit of jelly, a little bit of gold on top. Carefully. Oh. That is probably the best dessert I've ever had. Maybe because it was a contrasting with the worst dessert I've ever had. But inside that cup is a wonderful light mousse. And under that mousse and the cream is the jelly, some cake, really wonderful flavors. Such a relief. And continuing on, I gotta try that green tea mousse cake. Or, oh, I think this is a green tea cheesecake. It is a cheesecake, but thankfully also light and luscious at the same time, as light as a cheesecake can be. And I gotta try that green tea panna cotta, and this looks quite delicious. And let's dig in. Very delicate, a little bit of cream. Oh, all the way in, nice and light. Let's give this a try. Oh, when you're here, go for that matcha mousse panna cotta. So light and delicious, wonderful layers, and once you put it in your mouth, it just melts, and all the flavors and the sweetness just envelops. Oh, so delicious. So this is Rise at the Marina Bay Sands, one of the most iconic buildings from the outside in Singapore and maybe even the world. And as iconic as it is on the outside, the inside isn't too shabby either. Gorgeous atrium. So I'm gonna finish up this dessert and a little bit more to do, and I think I'm gonna skip the durian roll. But luckily, there is the gardens by the bay, where after finishing all this wonderful buffet, you can go walk and explore, fill your sights and senses, and walk off this wonderful meal. And hopefully, if they let me up, I can go up to the top floor or the observation deck area and give you a view of Singapore from the top of the MBS, the Marina Bay Sands. So, again, a lot of work to do, but thank you so much for joining. And until we see each other again, I hope you're keeping well, I hope you're eating well, and I hope you're traveling well. So, just a little bit more coffee with a warm drink. I'm sending all the warmest wishes to you and yours. God bless and take care. Very nice.
And it's nice to know as a visitor, you can take the elevator up to the 57th floor and enjoy the spectacular view of Singapore. And if you want to stay a little longer, you can grab a drink as well.